right, so this is Deborah Lockridge, and I'm talking to Brad Bayne. He's Vice President of Strategic Initiatives with 4Gen Logistics, and we're going to talk about the state of zero-emission truck adoption. It's good to talk to you again.
Yeah, great to talk to you.
So when we first spoke in 2023, and I can't believe it's only been 2 years, you were looking to have 64 battery electric trucks in operation in 4Gen's California drayage operations, and your goal was to become the first North American motor carrier to have an all zero-emission drayage fleet by 2025, and here we are in 2025. I know there were some delays with getting the trucks and the infrastructure, but you've been getting past that. But kind of tell me, where are you today?
Yeah, absolutely. We do have 64 battery electric trucks. We have both of our charging infrastructure locations are live as of last October. So we have charging at our home base in Rialto and also at our yard in the Long Beach port. So we're excited for that. We're running 20 Kenworth T680Es, 41 Volvo VNRs, and we still have 3 of the BYD trucks that we kind of started with back in the day. Throughout that process, we also bought 15 hydrogen fuel cell trucks from Nikola, so we have a total of 79 zero-emission trucks. Right now, we're kind of in limbo with Nikola filing bankruptcy and how that's all going to play out, so we're not using them much at all right now until we find out if there's a way to support them and find a better price for hydrogen after Nikola went under. So that's still kind of in the works, but other than that, we have, I think, 2 CNGs and 2 diesels left in California that the plan is still to have them out by the end of 2025 and reach our goal of completely zero emission in California.
That's great. So you've made a good deal of progress in the last couple of years.
Yes, it's as we've talked about before, it's been probably one of the toughest, most challenging journeys that I've ever been a part of, but also the most rewarding now that we've kind of made it through and we're up and running and adjusting to life with battery electric versus diesels, and the team is happy and excited, and so that's all good news for me.
I wanted to ask you about this regulatory shift we've seen this year with, we've seen Congress revoking Clean Air Act waivers for California. Now the EPA wants to stop regulating greenhouse gas emissions altogether. I'm sure you've been watching all this closely. What are your thoughts? Is that going to affect your operations or plans in any way?
Oh, absolutely. Needless to say, one of the major reasons we went so aggressive so early was, ACT and ACF and how that was going to affect us being a drayage carrier, especially with, not being able to register anything but zero-emission trucks to enter the ports of LA and Long Beach. We saw that as an opportunity to get ahead of it. We went aggressive, but we also knew there was risk. So for us, definitely not happy, but we understand things are a little bit cyclical. So, but the one thing I've always been aggressive with is, regardless of what the federal government's doing or who's the president is, California's kind of always beat to their own drummer anyway. So, needless to say, the federal part of it was a little bit of a setback for them, but catching up and talking to a lot of people in the background there in California, and they're very aggressively looking for ways to continue their drive towards zero emission in the state. So we always felt that was going to be in play anyway. The Port of Long Beach has invested so much in their zero emission strategy, reducing their carbon footprint, that they're not changing gears. Right. But there's still a lot of grant money available from the state of California for different things. So California is doing what they can, and I think they'll continue to refine their regulation around the ultimate goals they want to achieve. CARB is not going away, and CARB is not changing their stance on what they want to do. So
might have to find different ways to get there.
Figure it out, yeah.
I'm sure you talk to other fleets, and you've talked to the truck makers, and talking to regulators. I'm sure you're pretty plugged into everything there. Kind of anything else you're hearing from your counterparts, your truck makers, anything there?
From a Volvo perspective, their worldwide goals have not changed, regardless of who president is. So they're still very focused on reducing their carbon footprint. So they're still very aggressive in the BEV space, but they're aggressive in some other avenues where they might start looking at a hydrogen fuel cell truck or the hydrogen combustion engine. Plus what they're doing with their diesel technology to reduce emissions. So Volvo, very committed. I haven't spent a lot of time with Kenworth to kind of see which direction they're going now, but I'll hopefully get some more of that information. I do know they have a new generation truck out that I had a chance to see, and I'll be looking at it again up in Seattle on their test track. And I'm very excited about their next generation. It's a complete Kenworth build from the ground up. So we'll get a better exposure to that next week and kind of see if there's some options there. They're offering different battery packs, which is important to us as far as the range goes. So excited to get up there, spend a couple days with them, and kind of see where they're heading from a zero emission space.
What about customer demand? What are you hearing from customers as far as are they looking for companies to work with that have zero emission transportation and reduce their own the scope 3 emissions carbon footprint?
Well, they're definitely very excited for us to deliver with zero emission trucks. They're definitely not excited to pay us more to deliver with electric trucks. Right now, as everybody knows, the freight rates are down, and they've been down for a considerable time. We're hoping to see that kind of come back in our favor here soon. So yes, customers love it. We do have some customers that are specific because of our zero emission trucks. Not that, once again, they're willing to pay more for it. We have some others that love it when we deliver because it's helping them offset their wear credits that they're dealing with from a warehouse distribution center perspective. But until kind of freights changes and the rates go back up a little bit, right now, most companies, 95% of them probably, are not open to paying more just because you've invested all this money in zero emission technology. They love it when you deliver with it, but they're not really willing to pay more for it.
So how do you deal with that? I mean, costs have gone up for everything. Fleets, I was talking to some yesterday, we're talking about tires have gone up significantly. All the costs have gone up significantly. Rates have not gone up. So you've got the extra costs of the zero emissions trucks and investment. How do you deal with that?
Well, luckily going into this, we were positioned very well financially as a company, so that definitely helps. As you've probably seen, there's been some pretty significant closures of companies, small and mid-size, and even some large ones I would consider that haven't been able to make it through this little suppression of rates we've been seeing. But for us, we're all about expense control where we can. Of course, the good news is for us, we're seeing at our cost of fuel, which is now electricity, is probably, luckily we're in California, so we have $5 diesel prices. So when you start doing a comparison of electricity versus diesel, it makes it a little easier to see that we are saving some money on the fuel side from the electricity. Although the rates in California, especially this time of year, I mean, during peak time, they're 51 cents a kilowatt from 4 to 9 p.m. So we definitely try to limit our charging during that time. So, but for us, we were positioned well. We have a very solid customer base. We're definitely not making the money that we were before, or we hope to be right now. But we're still very bullish on our commitment that we've made. There's still a lot of organizations out there that are extremely happy that we made that move, that are supporting us. And ultimately, we see this as just one of those freight downturns. We just happen to be widely and highly invested into zero emission technology, but we're excited. It'll all turn in our favor, and we're not turning back, so we're not buying diesels in California. At least we have no plans to do that. So we're very committed to our initiative that we set forth about 4 years ago.